Thank you, Skeletor, for that wonderful intro. But just so we're clear, for the folks at home, this is the Kickoff presented by Ram Trucks, the only good way to get your kickoff, your week started on the good foot. Alongside Taylor Tannebaum, I'm Treavor Scales, a.k.a. Kirby Smart, and Kirby Smart's best friend and SEC official. So, as we get into it.
We go together.
Come on
we
now.
do.
Real bad. Real bad. Let's get right into just the discussion that has overtaken this college football season. Before Halloween even hits, we have a host of head coaching vacancies. The idea that we're firing coaches left and right, like, what do you make of this sort of tempo being established?
Yeah, it's like the Grim Reaper has come knocking on all of these teams' doors left and right. There are 8 Power 4 teams right now looking for a head coach, and we're only heading into week 10 of the college football season, which is crazy. And for me, it's, you know, with the transfer portal the way that it is now, with the large monetary investments that people are making now, they're demanding instant success.
That's right.
And when these fan bases and these boosters don't see it right away, they're quick to pull the trigger and say on to the next one. You know, Kurt Cignetti, I think, has really ruined it for everybody. Hired at IU, is able to turn literally the worst program around to being one of the best in the country. In an instant, has everybody kind of on alert at this point.
Thinking that you can just add water and find a way to go into a championship contention. And there has to be a course correct at some point where you understand that there has to be a culture established. The only way that you are able to establish culture is having folks around for years on end, maybe building through high school. Yes, it's okay to supplement with the portal, but to think that you can just add and keep it moving on a yearly basis feels like that's far from the truth, especially these days in college football where parity is at an all-time high. Now, with that in mind, we understand that with all of these vacancies, we got to find some bodies to fill them. And so we're going to do a little trick or treat. Got 2 buckets here. One with teams, one with potential candidates. And we are going to draw each one of us. We're going to take one from each bucket, figure out whether it's a trick or treat as to whether or not they actually fit or it ain't quite gonna go that way. So I will allow you to do the honors first, Kirby Smart.
First and foremost, whoever went shopping for the candy in these buckets, 10 out of 10. Really good. I'll be going home with all of this after the show. All right, in this bucket, we have teams that need a head coach.
That's right.
All right, so I'm gonna close my eyes, pick one. LSU. This is one of the recent vacancies.
the most desirable.
Some of the potential candidates. My analyst on ACC Network, my good friend Jimbo Fisher, who has spent time in the past on staff at LSU when they were really, really good, you know, championship status.
That's right.
Is this a trick or treat? I think this could be a treat.
100%.
This man should be back on the sidelines in college football because he has so much still left to give. The brain is bigger than any kind of mastermind monster that you can think of. He's so talented, and LSU, I think he would tell you, is arguably one of the best jobs in the country.
No question about that. So let me take a quick pull here from the bucket, respectively. And I got Penn State, which was the first big earthquake of firing. And then from the candidate pool, Marcus Freeman. All right, so here's my deal, right? I don't think Marcus is going anywhere.
Me neither.
So I'll go trick out the gate, right? However, if we were to place someone there, that's about as good as it gets.
I would agree with that.
Because we have seen, just from a toughness standpoint, the grit that he has instilled within his team, a guy that you are ready to run through a wall for, it's undeniable. And the thing about Penn State, it's so tough to get your feel on what that culture is. But what Marcus Freeman does with a program is translatable across the country. It is an understanding of toughness being at the front of mind, and then having the relationship that you have to have with the power brokers at Penn State is super essential. And it feels as though he can schmooze with the best of them if he absolutely needs to.
Yeah, but you know what? He's making, about $7 million this year at Notre Dame. He's got a top 5 class coming in next year. He's got a lot of kids that are planted there in South Bend.
That's right.
Literally his own, not just the college football player. So I don't know. I think Notre Dame's one of the best jobs in the country, and I think
see why he would run away from it.
Pretty good there, and they're still in the college football playoff running. All right, time now for Unstoppable Performances presented by Ram Trucks. When we talk about unstoppable performances, we got to talk about a team in the SEC that's exceeded everyone's expectations except maybe their quarterback and Diego Pavia's expectations. and the team itself. That is Vanderbilt. Started 5-0 before losing to Bama earlier this month. Since then, though, all they've done is back it up with back-to-back top 15 teams, wins against LSU and Missouri. Right. And this week, they got a chance to do it once again against a ranked opponent as they head to Austin to take on Texas. When you look at this matchup and you look at Vanderbilt and their quarterback in Diego Pavia, this is a really good Texas defense.
No question.
How does Vanderbilt attack the Longhorns defensively?
You find a way to exploit the vulnerabilities that they showed against Mississippi State just a week ago, and a lot of the success that the Bulldogs found was in the play-action game. Obviously, Vandy, very good at running the ball, so you use that to your advantage. You may not necessarily be able to earn the yards at a clip that you have been over the course of the early goings of this season, but what you can do off of that is essential. Get Diego comfortable, and sometimes he's just going to have to create, and he's one of the best cats to do that in all of college football.
Mississippi State, by the way, had 11 passing plays of 15 or more yards last week against
Texas.
Texas.
Look at the film. It's off of zone read looks, things that freeze linebackers, make safeties guess, and they took advantage.
All right, Diego, got to use that arm. On the other side, there's obviously a highly touted quarterback in Arch Manning, but he might not be able to go for the Longhorns because he was knocked out of last week's game with a concussion. How does Texas then, if Arch isn't able to go, attack this Vanderbilt defense, in your opinion?
Okay, so ideally, you would do what you should have been doing with Arch from the rip and run the dang ball.
Let's go!
However, interior linemen being hurt on the offensive end and just a lack of willingness to really push that button shows you that it's going to be upon Matthew Caldwell's shoulders to just make something shake, and I don't know that I trust Texas to be able to do that. Obviously, a run game is a quarterback's best friend, especially one that doesn't have a whole lot of experience in this specific offense, but I just don't know that that will be there available to them, so it's really just going to look at, all right, can you get your chunk plays when the opportunities arise? Can you make something shake despite not having one element of the offensive attack going for it?
It feels like both sides, the pass game has to be pivotal. Whoever's going to win this one. But I will say, for Matthew Caldwell, he came in last week and helped them to a win.
Game-winning touchdown throw.
Had to do it. So I think this team will really rally around him if he's the one who has to go in place of Arch Manning. Now, what can they do with that? He's a veteran guy, grad transfer. He doesn't have a ton of playing time, but in a big moment, he stepped up. So I think his guys are going to inevitably have his back if he's the one who has to take the field this week in a big game. And I mentioned big game because it kind of is. Both of these teams at this point still very much in the mix for that SEC title game. But, Trev, do you think the loser of this one is ultimately knocked out of that race?
Yeah, in the SEC specifically, you're not going to see a two-loss team, it feels like, given how Alabama and Texas A&M have asserted themselves atop of the standings. But I will say, specifically for Vanderbilt, this doesn't take you out of playoff contention should you lose.
It does not.
Texas, I do believe it does. It's the third loss on the schedule. You haven't looked great all year, and there's going to be a tough case to be made for you to get a spot in the top 12. But Vandy, if you were to take this loss, may not be a whole lot of opportunities for you to make your schedule sing, but if you were to win out, I think you'll be just fine with just two losses.
Yeah, SEC championship, it might take you out, but in Vanderbilt's case, to your point, college football playoff would still very much be in the mix. To your point, Texas had an 87% chance to reach the playoff, highest of any team according to the All-State Playoff Predictor coming into the season. Vanderbilt had a chance of under 2%, which is crazy. Now, if you look at these numbers, the Commodores have a better chance than the Longhorns, 44% to 41%, and can functionally eliminate Texas from the playoff race this week if they end up knocking them off. Yeah, who would have thought this week this is the game that we would be highlighting?
Awesome.
Not me.
Oh, baby, you see the front end. It is time for Mad Max. Scary hours around here, but we're never scared. The spooky laugh to go along with it.
That was kind of Santa Claus-y, but
like
spooky.
I'm not mad at it. As we roll on the kickoff presented by Ram Trucks, there's Max Browne, and he's got a very special task for us on this Halloween edition. We are building the college football monster of Frankenstein. You will be Dr. Frankenstein, Max Browne. So start us off. We'll build from the ground up. Legs, who is the ultimate college football player?
It's got to be Marcel Reed, especially after the performance from last week. Goes 13 carries, 108 yards, 2 touchdowns versus LSU. Put the world on notice about his mobility and his arm. Now in the Heisman conversation as well, with some of those jukes in Death Valley, it's got to be Mr. Reed from a leg standpoint.
I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I like that one. I would maybe, for me, a Haynes King.
Okay.
At Georgia
Similar
Tech, the
vein.
quarterback there. I would take his legs for sure, along with the toughness that comes with the legs. He's tied for second in the country with 12 rushing touchdowns, tied for most by a quarterback in the nation.
He's like a zombie. Like, he is unable to be killed.
Very
He's
true.
Haynes King. But
Yeah,
to go back to your point
true.
regarding Marcel Reed, the smooth nature, a lot of that reminds folks of Lamar Jackson. And when you're garnering comparisons like that,
I like
it's,
it.
You're in a good spot if you're him. Next up, let's move to the hands. Who you got there, Max?
Hands, I'm going a little bit of a dark horse pick here. Give me Carnell Tate, the receiver at Ohio State. A lot of people focusing on Jeremiah Smith, but I think Carnell Tate, coming off a game last week where he had 2 touchdowns versus Wisconsin, 6 receptions, 111 yards. And if his quarterback's going to win the Heisman, Julian Sand, which he's kind of hiding in the dark there a little bit, I think it's going to be because of Carnell Tate in terms of the explosive November to get not Ohio State over the hump, obviously they're the defending national title champions, but get his quarterback over the hump from a Heisman perspective.
I like your thinking there. I'll take any Ohio State wide receiver that's ever come through there. I'm still looking for where the factory is. Also, if you're going Marcel Reed, I would take any of his wide receivers there at Texas A&M.
Casey Concepcion, like they've got a bevy of dudes that they're working with out there. But
good one.
I had Jeremiah Smith as my Heisman candidate to start the year, and lo and behold, right, either his quarterback or the other guy in the wideout room with him could mess around and make a contention for that. But I digress. Moving to the arms, who are you placing as the monster of Heisman Frankenstein for that department?
Give me Ty Simpson. This is an easy one. Dude's only thrown 1 interception this whole season. Been balling really ever since that Florida State game. Over 2,100 yards passing, 20 touchdowns, playing on time. They're giving him the keys to the car. I think he's playing like the best quarterback in the country, so this one's easy for me.
I really like that one. The 20 touchdowns and the 1 interception.
Right.
Yeah, I'll take that arm any day of the week. Twice on Sunday.
It's that Ty Simpson. The evolution of him over the course of the season, Matt, and I'm curious to get your thoughts on that specifically.
Yeah.
How from that Florida State game, getting settled in and immediately sort of getting into a groove, powering that offense that obviously has a host of guys to make plays around him.
Yeah.
His ability to settle in and really put himself into the conversation when it comes to Sundays, to your earlier point, has been impressive to say the least.
And especially this past week, I've been hearing people doubt his arm from an NFL perspective. I'm not in that camp. He's got the arm strength, anticipates well. He's a stud. I mean, literally, if you made a quarterback in the lab, give me Marcel Reed's legs and his arm, and I think we're playing football for the next 2 decades in the National Football League.
Sounds pretty good to
Yes.
me.
Yeah. No, I'll take every last bit of that. Now, when it comes to getting your head right, I wonder who you are picking for the dome piece in this Frankenstein monster.
I'm going with someone on the sideline, not on the field. I'm going Curt Cignetti. If I'm building a program, building a Frankenstein machine in 2025, Curt Cignetti is the wiring that I want. And what impresses me the most about Indiana, they never play down to their competition. How often do we see college teams, stumble or stub their toe, or it's a close call against a team that it shouldn't be? That never happens with Indiana. We thought last year might be an outlier and just kind of the perfect recipe. Nah, he's backed it up in year 2. So give me Coach Cignetti's mentality.
Yeah, that's the mind of a maniac right there, for sure. He said, Google me from the beginning. The ultimate confidence,
He's kind of got a little Frankenstein head, too. He's
like the shape. It's 100%.
You got a little mad scientist.
As a guy with the 5 head, I can throw shade at other people that have a large dome as well.
Self-awareness is a major key in all of that. And as we look at this Frankenstein monster, it is unbelievable how actually scary that winds up being, just from a just pure appearance standpoint. That's not pretty to look at, though it is an impressive
terrifying
cast of characters that you pull together. Favorite thing about Curt Cignetti is just the confidence too.
That's what I mean.
It is just at another level, and so we appreciate you as always, Max, joining us here, and the knowledge in particular for this here monster of Frankenstein. We'll holler at you next week.
If I wasn't heading for a flight, I would have dressed up. Sorry I was lame with the white tee, but you guys are holding it down for all of us. Happy Halloween.
Same to you, partner.
Yep.
All right, let's take a look at the other games that we have to look forward to. Number 1, Ohio State hosting struggling Penn State this Saturday. High-stakes Big Ten showdown without James Franklin.
It feels like, doesn't it? It's been 84 years since we've seen Penn State play. October 18th. But yes, 4-game skid. Not exactly where you want to be when you head to Columbus. Vegas says 20.5. I like what Vegas is talking about.
I don't blame you whatsoever. Largest outdoor cocktail party going down in Jacksonville with Georgia and Florida getting after it. Georgia, sneaky, only a 7.5-point favorite.
Oh, and this is Florida's first game without Billy Napier at the helm. They've got the interim head coach. While Penn State is reeling, to your point, post-Franklin, I don't know, this Florida team kind of spooky.
Very spooky, because I don't want to play them off of a bye week in particular.
Yeah.
But moving over to the Big 12, Texas Tech and Kansas State. Kansas State 4-4, but still just as dangerous with the Texas Tech team that's really come out the gate swinging.
Texas Tech hasn't won a game in Manhattan since 2008. Red Raiders, though, do get the quarterback back in Baron Morton.
Huge.
Missed the last 2 games, so that should be a big boost for the Red Raiders, right?
No question about that. They are a team that is built from the line outside, but still
It
Yep.
retroactively kind of basically eliminates you.
essentially in that playoff contest, there's no question. So get your mind right, both of y'all.
All right, let's check out this week's CFP projections from Heather Dinich. Trev, you look at this list, what stands out to you?
So Ole Miss leapfrogging Miami is particularly interesting because of what Heather Dinich's logic was and why they could be lower, they being the Rebels. There's not a whole lot of defense being played in Oxford, Mississippi, and what Miami eventually showed in their second half doorsing of Stanford shows that they are probably more of the complete team, but if it's a matter of resume, that's kind of how you have to slice it.
Yeah, I agree with you. The top 5 remains unchanged for Heather. You do have Notre Dame hanging on there at number 12, and I'm keeping an eye on that top spot, actually, that she has not changed. Ohio State, Indiana, which way you want to go. Guess what, Trev? She's joining us now, apparently in a surprise costume we haven't seen yet. Wonder Woman, Heather Dinich, everybody's college football playoff Wonder Woman.
A superhero indeed, as always, week in, week out for us.
Amazing. And the queen of her household as well, with a crown on her head. Heather, thank you so much for joining us on our Halloween edition. Let's get right to it because Tuesday's the day we've all been waiting for. The College Football Playoff Committee will release its first set of rankings. You will be up here busy as a bee, but what can we expect, us and the fans out there, when they do release that first set of rankings?
Fans can expect this to look different than the Associated Press poll. That is not what this is. It doesn't matter that Ohio State won the national championship last year. They will judge the Buckeyes on their resume to this point, which means Indiana has a shot at the top spot. Undefeated Texas A&M has a shot at the top spot. There are different pieces of this puzzle, and they are going to look at this differently than the AP poll voters, though I would expect a few surprises on Tuesday night.
So within that, right, like the parsing of who has earned it via resume, the top-heavy dynamic of the Big Ten as opposed to the middling skyline that is the SEC, where everybody's able to sort of pick each other off on any given Saturday. How do you foresee the College Football Playoff Committee sort of sorting through that dynamic?
Well, I think one of their biggest questions is going to be, how high is Alabama? You would expect the Tide to be their top one-loss team, but are they good enough, and is their resume good enough to be above the Aggies? Because there will be committee members in that room who will point out Alabama had 4 straight wins against ranked opponents and then went on the road and beat South Carolina. I realize to the average fan, beating South Carolina might be a shoulder shrug, but when you do that after 4 4 straight wins, that's significant. The question is, can they get over that season opening loss to Florida State? And then where does Ole Miss stack up? How high is Vanderbilt? And where is the SEC's 5th best team? Because to me, when you're talking about the SEC, it's a question of, are they going to get 4 or 5 teams in the eventual ranking on Selection Day?
We're talking dang near half of that bracket being taken up by the SEC, and it's understandable given how sort of even that conference has been played out. Now, going back to the discussion point regarding the number 1 team and how wide open it is, I know you have Ohio State up at number 1, but the likelihood of somebody else taking that spot based off just this year's resume, what kind of likelihood are we looking at?
Well, there's certainly going to be a conversation about it, because when the committee members look at Ohio State and that win against Texas, what does that mean, right? How good is a win against Texas? Not just for Ohio State, but for all of the contenders down the road who are going to play them, including Vanderbilt on Saturday. And when you look at the Buckeyes, they are one of the most complete teams in the country, ranking in the top 6 in offensive and defensive efficiency. But with Indiana, they have the best win in the country. They went on the road and they beat Oregon by double digits. That's better than any win that Ohio State has on its resume. But look at how close they are. The committee is going to put both of these teams under the microscope, and this is where you get to the human element. This is going to be a subjective decision right here, and the eye test will certainly play as much of a role in this as the resume does.
Prayers up for the committee and those in the room who have to make that decision. Again, it is just the first rendition of the CFP rankings. You did just mention Oregon, and at the top you were saying there could be some surprises on Tuesday when these rankings come out. The Ducks right now 6th in the AP poll. They're 8th in your projections. What could we be shocked about when the Ducks are revealed on Tuesday potentially?
Well, because I think this is a team that could be lower than where the AP poll has had them, because what have they done? Right. They are a very talented team. They're passing the eye test. And I will tell you that the selection committee members will still respect that win at Penn State. Okay, that was a different Penn State team with James Franklin on the sideline before everything came unraveled. Is it a great win? No, but it's still respectable, right? It's not like if you're judging, say, Ohio State on Saturday against Penn State. It's a different team. But beyond that, Oregon's resume is really lacking, and that's something that the selection committee will consider. So it wouldn't surprise me to see them still have something to prove in the eyes of the committee as opposed to the AP voters.
I just think that there needs to be a little bit of credit given to them unraveling Penn State's season as opposed to it being something that was just inherent to Penn State. Now, I know the college football playoff is at the top of everybody's mind, but it's dang near Halloween. And so the most important thing is this here bracket that we have in store for us. I ain't seen it yet. And if we could pull up the listing of what we're trying to rank here. Top 12 Halloween costumes of all time. This is both myself and Taylor's first time seeing it, just like it is yours, Heather. So as we go through the listing, right, 1 through 12, starting with Spider-Man, moving Stormtrooper, Ghostface, obviously from Scream, Power Ranger. A host of things concluding with Michael Jackson. Do we have any issues with the seating off the top?
No, I do see first costume out, police officer, Ninja Turtle. That's a questionable one for me, but I understand it was a hard decision to make, you know what I mean?
No question. Yeah. Heather, what do you have on these here rankings as far as Halloween costumes go?
Why is Michael Jackson 12? How many times are we going to hear Thriller? He should be way up there. Come on, man. And that's like really underrated.
The King, too, down there at 11. No respect for the
I'm trying
the
to tell you.
Man.
Listen, for a costume that's done as many times as Elvis is out in Vegas, you would think that that should get a higher seating based off that alone, just prominence alone. So let's pull up the bracket. Let's start to see these bad boys and figure out who is going to be the top costume over the course of this here Halloween. What you got?
Okay, yeah, you have the.
I got the iPad. We got the touch screen going. The big old bracket behind us. So if we start with the 12-5 matchup, or excuse me, first round. Like let's 12-5. So that's Michael Jackson and Michael Myers. Who you got in that?
In honor of Heather and her beef with MJ being 12, I'm gonna move him along for the upset.
Okay.
Over Mike Myers.
So we're going Michael Jackson into the quarterfinals off the rip.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. I tend to agree. Although Michael Myers is just that iconic look of the mask, it's hard to really dispute that because of just how uniformly you know who he is the moment you might get mixed up if somebody got the wrong skin tone on with Michael Jackson.
That's just too easy of a costume for me. They went to the store, picked it up, and then just put the mask on.
Fair enough. All right, so let's get into the 8-9 matchup. Vampire versus Jason Voorhees. Who you going with?
This one's tough. I did just mention the mask thing.
Yeah.
So fine. I'll go 9. I'll go Jason.
Okay, you're going Jason.
I'm not a big vampire girly. That's never been my thing. What do you think, Heather?
Yeah, you have to go Jason. I'm still seething over here that Wonder Woman is not even on this list.
True. Neither is Kirby Smart, shockingly enough.
Okay, that's fair. So we got there and there. So we're moving. We said Jason, or we're moving?
We're moving Jason.
We're moving Jason. Your boy is just absolutely
where did
struggling.
you go? No.
Stand by. We're
Okay.
fine. He moved in the bracket.
It's okay. The referee has a review.
That's right.
A review, and
We're
he's going to
reseating
go
on the
back
fly.
to the.
Elvis and Batman. Who are we going in the 6-11?
All right. I'm going Batman.
Going Batman.
I'm going Batman.
Yes.
Classic.
Okay.
An OG.
Yes.
I tend to agree there. It's simply put, despite how iconic the Elvis costume is. So 10-7 here.
Okay.
We got Freddy Krueger.
I could take him, just so you know.
Freddy Krueger and the princess costume.
Oh.
Heather, who are we picking between the princess and Freddy Krueger?
Very different options here.
These are, yeah.
I don't do princess. I don't do princess.
No.
I just don't.
Just
I'm not a
superheroes.
princess. I'm a warrior.
I like that. Okay, we're going Freddy then.
Okay.
Go Freddy it is.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
You
I'm with
agree?
it. I'm with it. No, I like that a lot. Okay, so that's all of our 4. I'm going to slide Vampire up there. So now we're down to Michael Jackson and Vampire.
Wait, did Jason, you silly goose?
Stand by. Where the heck is Jason then?
Boo.
We're trying to figure this out on the fly.
Okay, that's great. That's great.
Outside of that, like...
It's okay. We're figuring this out together. There we go.
Okay.
There we go. Jason advances.
I'm having more trouble with this in the first year of the first iteration of this year.
All right, there we go. We got him. We moved him along, Heather. We appreciate your patience. Our referee is still going through a review here.
This is insane.
This is good.
Guys, the best part of this is the Amazon delivery guy who just looked into my office window.
That's perfect. That's
Okay,
right.
Spider-Man is taking on Jason. We got to advance 1. He got to buy. Spidey got to buy.
Sick.
Oh.
Where the heck did that?
Oh, there they go. Okay, now we put Spidey at 1.
Spidey's going there.
Okay, and then at 2 was Stormtrooper. He's been resting, the Stormtrooper. It could be a she. And then that's at 2. And then we had 10 and 7. We had Freddy and Princess, but we advanced Freddy. Freddy disappeared from the board.
Freddy's right there.
Well, Freddy's right there.
2 Stormtroopers. What is happening? Okay. Look,
There's a lot of Freddy going.
it's just entirely. This is
Keep
insane.
moving. Okay.
We're
I
gonna
am all
reset
for the
bracket.
Stormtrooper.
Okay.
Okay.
The Stormtrooper is fantastic. I advance the Stormtrooper, please.
I like the
Stormtrooper is moving
Stormtrooper.
along to
I'm
the
with
semis.
you.
Okay, so who else is in our semifinal matchup? Batman and Freddy Krueger, just because.
I'm going Batman.
Going Batman
OG.
there. Vote from Heather.
He and I never got along. We never got along. But okay.
In the Justice League, there was
okay.
beef between Batman and Wonder Woman.
Okay, so you're the tiebreaker, Trev.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Freddy.
Okay, fine.
We're just gonna do it. And then Spider-Man, Jason Voorhees.
I'm going Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, just because he's got the webs, like.
I mean,
What's this?
the web is
What?
kind of nice. You know what I mean? And then we have Power Ranger MJ.
Did we say?
We are advancing Spidey.
Okay.
Yeah, he's moving on.
And then Power Ranger and Michael Jackson.
Oh, that's a tough one. Which Power Ranger?
That feels like a vital question within it.
I'm going pink Power Ranger, then we're moving the Power Ranger. But MJ and Michael Jackson?
Is it iconic enough to carry, Heather?
Listen, my secret bucket list goal is to be in that New York City flash mob, okay? I'm watching Instagram videos. I'm trying to learn the dance. You know where my loyalties lie here with this.
It's Michael Jackson all the way through for her.
Wow, Michael Jackson is pulling off some upsets in this.
Listen, there's
the
one
title
Cinderella
game.
story every year. So
Yeah, you're right.
semifinal matchups, Spider-Man and Michael Jackson. Spider-Man was always my favorite superhero growing
I'm
up.
with
You know what I mean?
I think this is where Michael's
this
run
is where
ends.
I'm going to divert from the homie Heather.
Yeah.
So Taylor's with me, but Heather, do you want to make one last case for Michael Jackson to get to this final over Spider-Man?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
I mean, listen, I'll talk to Spider-Man about it, and we'll work it out.
Okay.
I'll let him have this one. He
Fair
needs
enough.
it, so it's okay.
Fair enough.
It was a great season for Spider-Man.
So now between the Stormtrooper and Freddy Krueger, who is going to make up the other half of the championship?
I think when it's all said and done, I think you got to have like a bad boy in there. So maybe
Good
we do go
versus
Freddy.
evil?
Yeah,
Well, like Stormtrooper also technically evil.
I guess. Yeah,
A
technically.
terrible shot, but
Yeah.
technically evil.
I kind of like Freddy. It's extra spooky.
So we're going Freddy here. So between Freddy and Spider-Man, the ultimate battle of good versus evil, Spider-Man or Freddy Krueger in the final. Heather, who you have?
Ooh, I'm going ultimate scary. I'm going Freddy.
Okay,
He still haunts me.
Your thoughts?
I'll take it. It's Halloween,
Freddy?
baby.
So Freddy is our champion, the man in the most heinous sweater to roam these streets and in your dreams walks away with the top Halloween costume of the year. I'm not mad at it. I'm so pleasantly surprised by Heather's costume that I was thrown off out the gate. And
Yeah.
so we got it together.
We did.
Eventually we settled the bracket, and Heather was a champion through it all. Thank you so very much, HD.
Thanks, guys. Hey, enjoy the games this weekend.
Thank you. Fly
Absolutely.
off, Heather Dinich, aka Wonder Woman. Okay, that was a learning experience for all of us.
Oh my God.
But shout out to one Freddy Krueger. For Treavor Scales, I'm Taylor Tannebaum. Thank you for joining us on our Halloween edition of the Kickoff presented by Ram Trucks. We will see you next week.